Georgina Budd, known as Georgie, moved to Wales to study medicine, but then in March last year, Georgie was in a crash that broke her spine, leaving her paralysed from the waist down. Georgie's fiancé, Carl, works as a picker in Amazon in Swansea, and in the lead up to Christmas he gets stood up to be the agency manager who oversees the temporary staff. Hearing about the accident was a huge shock to Carl.
My heart sank to my stomach. I was expecting the worst. And then of course he said, "Oh no, don't worry, she's fine, she's just hurt her back." It was only when I walked through the curtain, saw her in the stretcher and her family absolutely devastated, that I realised how bad it was. And yeah, it's something I had difficulty talking about for quite a while as well. I'd never really been open with my emotions, and that hit me like a ton of bricks. I had to keep it together whilst I was in the hospital for the sake of her family. But as soon as she went into theatre, I went into my car, I sat and I cried for an hour.
Carl is helping Georgie work hard to live her life to her full capacity, and she's sharing her efforts of learning to walk on Facebook. Her friends and family persuaded her to fundraise to help with her rehabilitation, and along with events such as a stall at the Cuckoo Fair and a brother taking part in a boxing match, Georgie also has a GoFundMe page. That funding has made a huge difference to Georgie's mobility.
The money that we've been able to raise for Georgie has been amazing. We've been able to get things like a passive bike at home that's able to keep the movement in her legs so the joints don't seize up, and keeps those free. The greatest thing that we've been able to get though is her power assisted wheels. So when she goes back to work in the hospital, of course it's long shifts, she needs to get about, so they help with her mobility, and they cost about £5,000. It's amazing how expensive some of this stuff is. But of course it's specialised equipment, and the people who need it sort of really need it. They can't afford to shop around either. But yeah, the power wheels, the standing frame that we're going to be getting soon as well, the physio as well. Cannot praise them enough. It's NeuroConnects. It's a place we go to in Bristol, and they've managed to get Georgie doing things that we didn't even think was possible. Like they had her up on her knees, so she can't use her legs, but she was able to get herself into a kneeling position, which will be so much more useful if she ever has a fall out the chair or anything like that, and I'm not around to help her.
It's been big hurdles, and life isn't easy. I've got no bladder or bowel control, but we've got over those as we needed to, and I go back to work as a junior doctor next month. I love my job. I can't wait to get back. I'm only going back one day a week and sort of working with the practicalities of things, but I'm very hopeful that I can go into A&E, which was the specialty I was on during the crash and the one I've enjoyed the most.
Georgie and Carl are getting married this year, and they'd only just booked the church a week before the crash.
When she did have her accident in the hospital, she took her engagement ring off and gave it to me and said that I didn't deserve to deal with this, and how she'd completely understand if I left. And well, when I proposed to her, it was me saying I want to be with her for life, and I know we haven't got to the wedding, but this is covered under for better or for worse. I would much rather deal with all the difficulties that life like this brings, because I'd be lost without her, you know? And yeah, really can't wait for the wedding. It's just over 5 months away, so yeah, tensions are really high.
We're getting married in September, and yeah, we're really looking forward to just spending the day with the people we love, because you realise what's important when you have an accident like this. You know, you realise that you've got to keep on and you've got to keep positive. You know, I may not have functioning legs, but I've got a normal life expectancy, and I refuse to spend the rest of my life being unhappy and thinking what if. So we're trying to smash all the goals.
Most women, or certainly I want to know, the dress.
Yeah, so I actually ordered the dress from America and got it sent over by one of my friends, and it's a lovely sort of drop back dress, and we're going to cover my chair in ribbons, and It's very classic and elegant, so I like it.
The fundraising store raised a total of around £1,500. Shan Robbins, That's TV.